Oh, I feel for my brother. Feel for my brother. You know, a lot of my brothers are dead or gone, but they've been hanging on the block a little too long. What can I say? I hope they live to see a brighter day. And the ones that are doing fine, God bless you, 'cause you're doing fine. At the end of the day, don't forget about me. As days turn to weeks and weeks turn to years, oh, I feel for my brother. And as time passes by, I see you're not satisfied. Oh, I feel for my brother. Feel for my brother. The street life used to be on, straight up hustling till the break of dawn. Taught me how to do wrong right, everything inside. But somehow things started to change. Try to get us straight up out of the game. You couldn't see what I saw. The empire was starting to fall, and everything that I said never seemed to get into your head. I tried to do the right thing, living my life with the words that I sing. Now tell me, I wanted to know what happened to my best friend. As days turn to weeks and weeks turn to years, I feel for my brother. Feel for my brother. And as time passes by, I see you're not satisfied. Oh, I feel for my brother. Feel for my brother. I miss you, man. You're my brother. I said I love you, babe. I won't forget you, no. Oh, no, no. Oh, no, no, no. Sometimes I feel life is cheap. Everything's disposable and so are we. Can you hear me? Life is real, yeah. And if there's a heaven above, please start showing a brother real love. 'Cause I wanna go home. Oh, I feel for my brother. I miss you, man. Oh, I feel for my brother. You're my brother. I feel for my brother. Oh, no, no. Feel for my brother. I wanna go home. I feel for my brother. I won't forget you, no. I feel for my brother. I feel for my brother. I feel. Oh, I feel for my brother. I feel for my brother.
Gracious God, creator of the universe, and yet the lover of my soul. Alpha and Omega, and yet I can call you friend. I don't have to beg you for anything, but I can thank you for everything. God, I thank you because this is the day that you have made, and I can rejoice and be glad in it. Thank you for this day of magnificence and glory and splendor. God, I thank you for life, health, and for strength. I thank you for soundness of mind. I thank you for peace, love, and joy. I thank you for the essence of you that envelops me right now, from the crown of my head to the soles of my feet. We thank you for this day of manifestation. We thank you for the day of revelation. We thank you for the day of impartation. We thank you as you move in the midst of your people to bring us to the greatest times that we've ever seen since the foundation of the world. Thank you, Lord, that for this time and for this season, you've allowed us to be a part of your move in the face of the earth. I thank you, God, for the revolution that you're bringing forth, God, even in the midst of the earth right now. And I thank you for the opportunity to be a part of what you're doing in this hour, because in the last days, saith God, you said you would pour out your spirit on all flesh. And so now we thank you for the pouring out. God, I thank you for the rain and the move of your spirit. I thank you for fresh oil. I thank you for new wine. I thank you for the new thing that you're doing. I thank you now that it does spring forth. I thank you, Lord, that you've called us to be the head and not the tail. You've called us to be above only and not beneath. You've called us to be the lender and not the borrower. You've called, God, that our storehouses would be full and increase. God, I thank you because even I decree and declare that the people under the sound of my voice, even now, are moving in the might of your strength. Not by might nor by power, but by your spirit. I thank you for those that are the sons and daughters of God that are called because they walk not after the flesh, but after your spirit. I thank you for the rising up of the people of your kingdom. I thank you that your kingdom come. I thank you that your will be done, even now in earth as it is in heaven. I thank you, Lord, because you are moving in the midst of your people mightily as never before. Raise us up, oh God, to the standard of what you've called us to be. God, I thank you for the standard of greatness. I thank you for the standard of holiness. I thank you for the standard of moving as the sons and daughters of yours, and not as vagabonds, not as those that never knew you, not as those that are confused and confounded, but God, those that know who they are in you. I thank you for the knowing. I thank you, God, for knowing you. I thank you for knowing your presence. Thank you for knowing your Holy Ghost power that gives us the ability to be successful. Your anointing that gives us the power to rise up and be called blessed. Thank you for that is in us. Thank you, God, for all things that pertain to life and godliness. Thank you because we are not confused. We are not deceived. And we thank you for that clarity of mind and the clarity of vision that allows us to walk forth as kings and queens, as princes and princesses in the kingdom that walk in the earth. We thank you that we are your beloved, and we rise up as the apple of your eye. We rise up, oh God, as those that you love with all of your heart. And God, we love you back. I thank you for soundness of mind. I thank you for soundness of spirit. I thank you that healing is our bread. Healing is our deliverance. By the stripes of Jesus, we're already healed. And we speak forth that healing even now for those that need it. Thank you, God, for every stripe that was taken. Thank you for the bruising. Thank you that he was wounded for our transgressions, bruised for our iniquities. The chastisement of our peace was upon him. God, with those same stripes we declare and we speak healing in Jesus' name. We give you glory. We give you peace. We give you honor. We give you blessing. We give you might. We ascribe all of these things unto you because they are yours. Thank you. The fruit of my lips giving thanks unto your name. Ever giving you all that is yours. Glory, honor, power, dominion, majesty. It's yours. I decree it and I speak it. In the mighty name of Jesus, it is so. Amen and amen. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I want to say good morning to everybody that has joined us today, this fine day, October the 28th in the year 2020. And I want to say, today is one of my friends. She may be on here. She usually is at her job and she can't talk. But happy birthday to Lynette Dickerson. It's your birthday, girl. It's your birthday. And I want you to enjoy every minute of it. Yes, it's your birthday. October is a good month. I just want you to know October is a wonderful month. So just in case you're on here, I want you to know that I wish you the happiest of birthdays today. Lynette, yes, we call her Lynn. Give it up for her one more time for her birthday. She's working and listening, but we want you to know we love you, girl. We love you. We surely do. Now, I want to say this. My son is here. My son, Lamont, Nathan Lamont. And you know how that makes me feel? I feel something in my shando. Yes. Yes! Nathan! He's my singer. He's my squaller. He's my praiser. Oh my goodness. I feel like leaping. I feel like running. Y'all tell Nathan Lamont good morning, okay? That's my baby, y'all. That's my baby. My baby is here, and I'm glad about it. I had to start with just a little bit of that, okay, this morning. I had to start with just a little bit of cutting up because I feel something down in my shando. I better feel something because, listen, y'all sleep, I'm sleep, all of us are asleep because we were at the House of Rebel on last night, and I tell you, it was a good set, it was good attitude, it was good energy, and at the end of the day, you all teeth right now, baby, I love you too. I want you to know I love you too. I tell you what, the Rebel Inc. is doing her thing. She's my corporate sponsor. Listen, therebelinc.com. Y'all check it out. Yes, therebelinc.com. Y'all please check her out. Now I'm getting ready to say all my good mornings and my welcomes, but you know Royal Confessions done come up in here clowning y'all. She said good morning, backsliders. Good morning. She done called y'all backsliders. Listen, they had a little tea on her. They threw back up in her face. So, at the end of the day, good morning, Joel. Australia in the house. So glad to have you on this fine day. But y'all were cutting up. I'm telling you, it was a good set on last night. Now, for everybody that doesn't know what we're about, we talk about Rebel's House. You can virtually go to Twitch, and Rebel Inc. is anointed. She really is an anointed piano player, and people put in their requests, and it's all kinds of music. It's not just gospel, but I mean, yesterday it was I think it was 1990 to 95 music, and I mean, they had those hits and joints rolling in. It was marvelous. And she's over 300 strong in followers. And we have really built a beautiful, I should say she, because she's done this on her own. She has really built a beautiful family. You hear us talking about Rebel's house and the Rebel family. That's what we're referencing. It's a beautiful setting. She broadcasts on Tuesdays. She broadcasts on Thursday evenings. And on Sunday morning, we have what we call Church of Funk. And we have Church of Funk before we have our 2:00 spiritual service. And I tell you, it's good every week. I got some dancers in the house. I got singers in the house. I got all kind of people in the house there at Rebel's house. And I promise you, you will absolutely love it. I promise you, you will absolutely love it if you check in to the Rebel Inc. Now, on this morning, I want to say that Jams JJ, while the rest of us were tired and barely making it, Jams JJ was the first one I saw in Grandpa Holmes' chair. And I want to say to her, congratulations. Congratulations, Jams JJ. You did that. Yes, you did. You made it, girl. You made it. You made your way. And I want to say congratulations to you for making it to Grandpa Holmes' chair first. That's so special. Because listen, I know we were all tired this morning. We were tired and I was having a few technical difficulties. And I tell you what, y'all waited on me anyway. You didn't miss the prayer, Joel. We do that first thing. First thing we do is pray. So that has already run. But I know that you're praying and you got all your prayers in and you're praying for me. And I appreciate that. Well, I want to say good morning. Everybody that's come in my chat. I've got several out there today. I'm so happy that you're here. I want to say good morning to Jams JJ. Good morning to Joel, all the way from Australia, man. I always appreciate you when you're in the house. Chris G41, SK8843, BTD Mom reached out to make sure I was okay when I was running a little late this morning, and I appreciate that. Teresa Jones in the house, and I love it. It just makes my day every time I look up and see you. And of course, Royal Confessions is always here. Did I miss Monica? Because Monica's listen, nobody puts baby in the corner. Monica is my baby. Nathan Lamont, y'all already know that's my son. We are babe in the house. Come on, Shea Butter. Come on. And I'm so glad that you all are here this morning. And anybody that's out there that's listening, if you want to come in and be a part of the chat, it's yes, you, O cubed, one-on-one, just me and you. You are definitely welcome to come on in this chat and talk with us on this fine day. Can you believe it's Wednesday already? Oh my goodness, it's just almost unbelievable. And can you believe we're almost to November? Did you confess at Royal Confessions? Let's get this party clack-a-lacking, y'all. Let's get it clack-a-lacking. Here we go. Wow, you slumbered, slept, and slobbered. We're going to talk about a few things that happened overnight. So let's get the music rolling. Y'all know how I do, because I got to have a little taste of music in my shando so I can move forward. Well, you know, while you slumbered, slept, and slobbered, we're down to 6 days, and there's a whole lot going on in politics over here. Now, as we look at it, I was very pleased. When I woke up this morning, I was very pleased to see that Vice President Biden addressed the issue in Philadelphia. He actually addressed the condition and the unrest going on in Philadelphia. Yes, I'm telling you, Philadelphia has asked all people and residents to stay indoors because of the violence that is erupting over the fatal police shooting of Walter Wallace. Now, if you're not familiar with that story, Brother Walter has had, past tense because he is deceased, Brother Wallace Brother Walter had mental illness conditions. Police were called. He was wielding a knife, and as they were encountering him in the street, they told him to put the knife down, which he did not. And so, as is the custom, it so seems, instead of, now listen, you got firepower, he's got a knife. I'm just looking, and people were telling them they were 14 shots, Gems JJ. Listen, we have to start already. I got a shade. We have to start already, because at the end of the day, does it take 14 shots, people? 14 Joel, it's a tragedy. It is an absolute tragedy. And yes, Chris, it is shade time. I don't just throw shade, I shed light because I need to talk about it. Thank you for subscribing, Monica. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for the subscription. Now, this is what I want us to understand. The man was known, and they were telling the police officers he has a mental illness. He has a mental illness. But instead of dealing with the man's mental illness, and I'm like this, even if he wasn't, you're not sure what I would have done in that situation as an officer. It would have really, listen, I hear you, Joel. At the end of the day, and I know you shared when you were here last time, you have a definite care and compassion for law enforcement, and that's fine and good. At the end of the day, all I'm saying is this: why is every black person, because I watched a full complete 20-minute video, and this is where I'm not going to let law enforcement off the hook. I watched a full video of a man that was armed with a knife and then got in his car and tried to run people down, and the police apprehended him alive. Now, why do I think they apprehended him alive? He was white. He chased them. He got into a physical altercation with them, and there were about 8 of them to 1 of him. They went through all of these changes. He got in his car, and started driving toward the police to run them down. They jumped, reached in, got his hands off the steering wheel, pulled him out of the car. No shots were fired. Could it be? The devil? Ain't nothing but that old slimy devil. And I looked at that, and I mean, you are going to tell me, you saw it too, BTD Mom, you're going to tell me you take almost 30 minutes with them, and the man kept telling the police officers, I will kill you. I will kill you. I will kill you. He's physically in hand-to-hand combat. You got 8 men, 8 full able-bodied men. They never pulled a single weapon, BTD Mom. They never drew a gun. Not one time. When it comes to listen, the man didn't have a gun. He had a knife. Joel, he had a knife. And I'm talking about the clip that BTD Mom and I are talking about. That man was fully armed, and I'm telling you, if a vehicle, running somebody down with a vehicle and armed, does not cause you to draw a weapon. You explain to me how this man with a knife, yes, the devil is still up because the devil is loose. You explain to me, and this is what we want law enforcement to acknowledge. You can spend 30 minutes on a man that is threatening your life, armed, and gets in his car to run you down, and they never drew a weapon. All 8 of those officers never drew a weapon on this white brother that was out here acting a plum D fool and threatening their lives. But this man, and they had distance, Joel. There was plenty of space between them and the man that was having a mental condition. He was having a mental breakdown. You tell me why, with a person that has a knife, and all of you all have guns, 14 shots into that black man's body. 14 shots. Well, I won't say in his body, but they shot 14, and several of them found their mark. This is the issue. The issue is not when police are in danger. Could it be? Thank you for helping me. Could it be? The devil? And so, as Vice President Biden took the opportunity, and you know what, sometimes that's all it takes is a level of humanity by leadership. And the question was asked over and over and over again. In that situation, the fact that, number one, you were told from the beginning that he was mentally impacted and having a breakdown, a meltdown. He's armed with only a knife. And I know a knife can be a deadly weapon, but you're still talking about distance. He was being confronted by several fully armed police officers, and they don't have any means of de-escalation. And why, oh why, did it take 14 shots? So yes, the very thing that you said, Joel, came up as an issue. They began to ask, why didn't you use tasers? And the response they got back, they don't have tasers. They didn't have them with them. They didn't have tasers. So we definitely can't shoot to wound. We've got to unload 14 shots. Listen, I'm shaking my head too. BTD mom, in Philly, several neighbors and children were spectators. What if there was a stray bullet? They didn't care. They didn't care if it was a stray bullet. Almost like the story that I brought to you all yesterday. And I said, at the end of the day, the father was killed. This is on a car stop, y'all. A car stop. The father was killed. The mother is fighting for her life because they shot in the car randomly, and there was a 7-month-old baby in the vicinity. So at the end of the day, trained officers get to be afraid and react. Untrained citizens are expected to remain calm and level-headed while in the presence of these trained officers that may be afraid of the regular folk. And you're hitting a nail on the head, because if you're that scared and if you're that uncontrolled, do you really need to be on the police force? Number one. And number two, what is your training for? Your training hasn't taught you anything in the ways of de-escalation. Your brain doesn't stop and think, oh, we've got guns, he's got a knife. Is he really? Is he really? And he's over there and we're over here. Are we really afraid for our lives? Is it really critical enough for me to draw my weapon along with my compadres and unload the chamber? Overkill. overkill. 14 shots on one man with a knife, and you're trained supposedly. You and we're not even going to get into, regardless of whomever you are, race, religion, or creed. I think the adherence to the law. We're gonna love each other and part ways on that one, Joel, because at the end of the day, black folks have adhered to the law, and we've adhered to the law and still been killed. So this is the thing that we're going to understand and we're going to disagree on, because black people, from the time of lynching, from the time of being snatched and murdered for no reason and lynched in front of white people and their little children as they ate lunch, they always had a lie of a reason and explanation why they had broken some kind of law. And 99% of the time, there was no law broken. So at the end of the day, you are going to find that police officers are going to, more times than not, find a reason. And then this is the thing. Can we go back to Breonna Taylor? Can we go back to a woman that was asleep in her house? Can we go back to a woman that had no crime, no criminal record whatsoever? Can we go back to a woman that was lying peacefully with her boyfriend, and they're lying in the bed watching TV, and they're victim of a no-knock warrant, and they come in and unload the clip, kill the woman, and then try to say that when he fired off, because he has a right to stand his ground too, just like everybody else. He has a right to stand his ground too. When he shoots off a warning shot, they then wanted to turn around and try to charge the brother with firing on police officers when nobody identified themselves. And so at the end of the day, I hear you with the Jewish ancestors burnt at the stake. You feel where I'm coming from. I appreciate that. But listen, black folks are still being burned at the stake. Black folks are still being abused. Black people are still being sent to the ovens. And so I can appreciate your Jewish ancestry, but they got compensation. It has ceased, and we're still in the midst of people that do not value our life in the least. And when injustices are done against us, because you can't, and that's my thing. Number one, a mental illness is not an indictment for murder. A mental illness needs individuals that are trained and qualified to deal with that individual. But just because he had a mental illness and may have been manic, that still, especially, was no reason to kill him. And at the end of the day, I have to feel all the way down in my shando when I listen to my white brothers and my white sisters in the same scenario. Let's take the young man that killed all those black people in the church. Can we? 9 folks were killed for no reason. And they talking about he was manic and having some kind of breakdown. They escorted him out, put him in body armor, took him to Hardee's to get a hamburger. You mean to tell me you can kill 9 black folks? That man was armed. That boy still had his weapons, and they apprehended him without incident after he killed all of these people. Now, I'm going to tell you what would have happened if it was a black man, a black boy, a black child, as Tamir Rice, who was 12, had a play gun and they shot him dead like a dog. Look at the young man that was out there in Minnesota, and he was a minor carrying a full long arm rifle, walked right past the police as he sashayed his tail up out of there, and they never stopped. They never blinked an eye. They never drew a weapon. He got in his car, rode back home with his mama, and nothing. And so this is the challenge. You cannot deny there are two justice systems. And black folks are tired of hearing folks say, adhere and obey. Because we do, and we still get killed. And then we're treated like criminals. I can't tell you how many bogus stops I've been stopped and doing nothing. Let the church say amen. So I can't embrace the adhere. And it gets me riled up, and I love you, man. You know, and everybody understand this about me. Most of y'all do, but I appreciate my brother Joel for carrying on conversation. This is one-on-one, just me and you. Oh, cubed, one-on-one, just me and you having a conversation, Joel. And I get excited. I'm not trying to scream at you, but I am really passionate about the reality that they keep killing us and telling us to adhere when we are adhering. And you're not going to convince me he could have been. I love you too. I love you too. He could have been taken down another way other than 14 deadly shots. 14 deadly shots. And it becomes a pain in our souls. And it's a pain in our souls. Thank you for the biddies. It's a pain in our souls because every time we cry out against the injustice that continues to happen to us, we get accused of stuff we didn't do to justify why they killed us. It's no justification. It's no justification. Animals get treated better than black people, and I know you're right. I missed We Are Babe. We Are Babe. Let me go back up and catch what you said, because I got so carried away. I miss some of these comments. Then the very same police do all they can to shed a negative light. Oh baby, all day long, all day long. They do everything they can to scandalize and smear our names. That was murdered while creating an entirely different narrative, or better yet, refusing to comment until the investigation is completed for our white brothers and sisters. You are absolutely right. We Are Babe. Shea Butter. Speak that. And at the end of the day, thank you for the biddies, We Are Babe. At the end of the day, this is the problem, Joel. This is the problem we have, because so many of our white brothers and sisters will not listen to our cries. And what do we hear back from them when we tell them the truth about the brutality? You should have complied. We did. And many times we complied after we were stopped for things we didn't even do. There was no reason for the stop. They'll create a reason. They'll provoke. I'm telling you what I know. I'm not making this up, Joel. I'm talking about what I've endured. And I'm not the only one. It's so widespread and rampant. This time last year on my birthday, the day after my birthday, my sister and I were traveling in dead of night, and we got pulled over by a white racist police officer that took us through all kinds of hell before he let us go. And then told me, after he gave me my license back and saw that my birthday was the day before, I'm giving you a happy birthday present. Yeah, my life was a gift the day after my birthday. Sick of it. We're sick of it. Hadn't done a thing. There was no reason to be stopped. And here we are out here in the dead of night, two black females And there's a joy that these jokers get. We're exhausted, Nathan. We're exhausted. There's a joy that these people get from the opportunity to wield their power around and throw it. That is not policing. There's more than one corrupt cop. Your father knew a guy who was a corrupt cop, one of the most famous in all of Australia. Listen, we got them everywhere. My life is a gift that he gave me, Monica, because 2 black women out there in the dead of night. And this is the sad thing. We were coming back to Kansas City because we had celebrated her son in the military being promoted into special unit to serve his country. And we go down to celebrate him. We go down to love on him for what he's accomplished in the military to serve this country. And coming back from that event, we're almost hijacked and killed, raped, maimed, taunted. Oh my God. Yeah, they get their recompense one day or another, but in the meantime, they're steadily killing us. They're killing us. They're killing us. They're killing us. And at the end of the day, we've got a handful of our brothers and sisters that see the struggle, that will acknowledge it and stop being scared as well. Because listen, you can any day of the week, you can get a black body that's just as innocent as all get out, non-violent and everything, and surely don't let it be a black brother. You can get them all day long and walk in the presence of white folks and they get scared just because of your black and feel like they need to grab a weapon, feel like they need to protect themselves, feel like they need to lock their doors, hide your children, hide your wives. Don't nobody want your stuff. Stop killing us. Stop killing us. Would you please stop killing us? And when that man said to me, I'm giving you a birthday present, a late birthday present, it took everything in me. And I'm gonna tell you the truth. I coulda, shoulda, and woulda been the next Sandra Bland. Because the only reason why I held my tongue, y'all see, I run my mouth and I say what I want to say. The only reason why I wasn't the next Sandra Bland was because my sister was sitting next to me in my car. And the reality of it, as a matter of fact, we were in her car. Then the reality of it was, I had to think there's somebody else's life besides my own that I got to cover here. Now, I am a spiritual thought leader. I'm a pastor. I'm a preacher. We driving in a fully registered, insured, ain't breaking no law vehicle, and you gonna pull us over. And it happens every day. Nice vehicle. Black folk traveling, middle of the night. Where you going? Because it's got to be no good. Sick of it. Have a seat. Get off the police force. I'm just saying. At the end of the day, how much more? And this is the thing. We just keep going through this as the world says, oh, that's too bad. Your baby ain't laying in the street dead like a dog. Because if it was your child, you'd be stirred up. And this is the thing that we talked about on yesterday. We have to identify. We are one family. We are one blood. Everybody came from Mama Africa. I don't care who you are. I don't care what the color of your skin. And so all of the babies, thank you, Monica, all of the babies belong
to us. All of the babies belong together. We need to care about each other, just like if it was my brother, my sister, my son, my daughter, my wife, my husband. Because if it was happening, yes, Mama Africa birthed every one of us. And that's the thing that people can't understand. Then we're not trying to kill anybody, because we understand these are brothers and sisters. We're not disconnected and disassociated. But our white brothers and sisters and children have disassociated themselves. We suckled from the same tits. We talked about that yesterday. We gave life, a life stream from our breasts. We gave a life source from our breasts. If anybody will fight for her children, it's Mother Africa. And Mother Africa understands, I have children with white skin. I have children with yellow skin. I have children with red skin. I have children with all color skins. But I definitely have children with black skin. And I cannot let my white skin children kill my black skin children with no ramifications, with no kind of negative consequence for treating and mistreating your brother and your sister. Like we said yesterday, you got to get that thing out and get them legs, get them legs, get them legs. That's past time out. We need to get them legs. Stop it. You will not treat and mistreat and abuse your brother and your sister. But the thing, Joel, that I really want to get the people to understand, I want them to understand that I cannot sit idly by while they're killing some of my children, and my other children sit by and just observe and watch as if it's nothing. And then tell my other children, you need to comply. They are complying. Listen, the day that whites know that it's actually a color too, come on, Nathan. Without always coming back to what they did. And so this is what I say. Thank you, baby. I know you do. I get passionate. I appreciate you. Thank you for the biddies. Thank you for the biddies. I get passionate about this because, listen, nothing is more hurtful when we say, and then can I deal with Kushner, who came out and said we need to stop whining and complaining? We're not whining and complaining. We're trying to get people to hear us. We've been saying it for hundreds of years, and it still falls on deaf ears. And so it hurts when you know there are other things and other forces going on, and people keep talking about comply. Martin Luther King complied. Martin Luther King was nonviolent, and he's not the only one. There were many, and there are many. And at the end of the day, you still had people. He's an agitator coon. He needed to die. Martin Coon King. Floyd, he did not deserve to die, Joel. That was a lynching. It was a modern day lynching that was done right there in front of the people. And we still have people that believe that that was righteous. Those are my babies. Those are my babies. Mother Africa is crying. Those are my babies. I can't let you keep doing that to my babies. Mandela, nothing wrong. Locked up for years and years and years. And at the end of the day, I ain't throwing shade, I'm shedding light. But my shades had to come down. At the end of the day, there are people of my children with white skin that feel like all of those actions are justified. You can't steal years of a person's life. Years of a person's life imprisoned for doing nothing but speaking the truth. You can't keep killing us dead in the streets. You can't let your white brothers and sisters go and do nothing to them for the exact same offenses that you allege and charge against your black brothers and sisters, whether they did it or not, and many times not. And the outcome for one is a happy meal, and the outcome for another is a casket. It ain't right. It ain't right. And this is the thing. We've got to rise up and say, it ain't right. It's not right. If we don't say something, and that's how it's allowed to continue until enough people rise up in power and said it's not right. We're going to keep having this. It ain't right. I promise you. So at the end of the day, I was, and I'm going to unshade here, I was happy. In my mind, there was a debate that took place. Is this for real or is this political? But I was happy that Vice President Biden said, honey, power to the people. I was happy that Vice President Biden extended his condolences and care and concern that there coulda, shoulda, woulda been another way. And that's right all day long. That's right. Power to the people. Power to Mother Africa and all her children. Don't eliminate any of them. I was pleased to see that he addressed it. Now, the sad thing in my heart of hearts, I'm not gonna lie, I was like, is this political? Are you doing this because you need to look good and feel good and sound good to black people and people of color? Or do you really mean it? And I know he's been through some tragedy himself. But you know what's interesting to me? My white brothers and sisters can go through tragedy and be tore up. And then my same white brothers and sisters can look at their black brothers and sisters go through the same thing and feel nothing. Because they are disconnected and disassociated from the reality that we are brothers and sisters. They see us as less than dogs, less than cats. They treat their pets better than they treat black bodies. They'll cry, have a conniption fit, and go to counseling because their 59-year-old dog died. And they'll look at us laying in the street dead. They'll watch George Floyd be lynched and say he shouldn't have done it. You know, we got to say something. We've got to say something. And so if I can say a word to get people to acknowledge it ain't right and do more, because at the end of the day, we've got, come on, babe, there it is. They will not acknowledge our humanity. That's it right there, Royal Confessions. They will not acknowledge our humanity. We are less than a dog or a cat or a pet to them. And they'll go to counseling over a dog and a cat. Come on, pull up your chair and get that popcorn. They'll go to counseling and therapy over a dog and a cat and feel nothing when they watch a black man lynched in the street. It ain't right. It ain't right. That's why we can't wait. That's why Martin Luther King, why we can't wait. Letter from a Birmingham jail. But I'm here to tell you, 68 years later, we're still waiting. Because people tell us to comply. Because people see us as criminals when we haven't done a daggone thing except for be black. People want to be suspicious. Well, no. The same way those police officers give vent and give place to the white individuals, and well, we need to, something must be wrong with them. We need to go ahead and have them evaluated to see if they're having some kind of mental episode, but we can't get none of that. I love you, man. Thank you. Nothing but love. So at the end of the day, thank you for joining us, Joel. I don't know what, obviously it's nighttime probably over in Australia, but it's always a blessing to have you in the midst. And you pray, we're going to pray. We're going to keep on praying, but we're going to do something about it too. We're sick of sitting at the back of the damn bus. You said it, Monica. It's midnight. Well, thank you, baby. I appreciate you, Joel. I love you, man. Love you. We're tired of sitting at the back of the bus. We're tired of waiting. And this is where, again, we're coming into this place of saying, we've got to do something. We've got to come together. We've got to change the mindset. We've got to move this forward. We can't continue to run round and round and around this same mulberry bush. We have got to come off of this merry-go-round. Get unstuck and make a difference. And I'm glad for the conversation we're able to have. And I know Joe's going to bed. That's it. We're praying. I know Joe's going to bed, but we got to be able to have conversation with all of our brothers and sisters of every skin hue, of every skin color. We've got to have the conversation so that we can start to eliminate this mind. Get up, get out, speak up, speak out. Come on, Royal Confessions. We've got to have this conversation. I don't care how uncomfortable it is. We have got to speak it and tell the truth and yes. Could it be? I started to say shaming, but let me do him right. Could it be? The devil. At the end of the day, it ain't nothing but that old slimy devil. Ain't nothing but that old slimy devil. But at the end of the day, come on, the devil. At the end of the day, we got power over the devil. We're going to eradicate that demonic thinking, that demonic attitude, that demonic way of operating. Listen, the devil in sheep's clothing. That's all it is, Royal Confessions. In sheep's clothing. Because I don't want to hear another thing about God bless America and let us pray from our evangelical brothers and sisters, because God's hand is on this man for this hour. Quit lying. Quit lying.
Why you always lying?
No. The hand of God ain't all over that man. Other than to bring us to our destiny, where we finally have enough. They said we've seen more people vote already than voted in the whole election in 2016. The people are coming out. Now, my prayer is that they're not coming out crazy, because we need change. But I'm not worried, because like I told you all the other day, I got hope. And I feel like whether or not whoever gets that chair, rightfully or wrongfully so, of the president, Because listen, we're tired, Chris, but I'm not too tired to quit. I'm not going to quit. I'm not tired enough to quit. I'm going to keep on pushing. I'm going to keep on fighting. I'm going to keep on talking. I'm going to keep on putting it out there the best way that I can, because at the end of the day, we ain't giving up nothing. We ain't giving up nothing. And that's my position on it. So, hey, y'all listen. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go to work. As a matter of fact, as we get into the countdown, because what did I tell you guys? We are the founders of a new world. We are the founders of a new America. Because at the end of the day, we have the power. Change is coming. Y'all better come on with that. Change is coming. I want to tell you, change is here. Because even in this countdown of the 6 days, there's going to be that November 3rd date is really so apropos and so representative, not just because of the election, but whatever happens as a result of that and everything that's going to spring forth from that is really what's going to bring us to the new day. I'm trying to tell you, I'm counting down to my destiny. I'm counting down to the new world. I'm counting down to being a founder. I told y'all, I'm a lion. You're gonna hear me roar. Y'all can be sheep if you wanna be. I am a lion. Nobody is free until everybody is free. Break the chains. I am walking in victory as a lion of the tribe of Judah. And when you hear my pause, P-A-W-S, I want you to pause, P-A-U-S-E. And if you hear and understand the roar of the lion, thank you for the biddies, we are, babe. If you understand the roar of the lion, come on and walk with me. Because we're getting ready to turn this thing around. Thank you, Jams JJ. Thank you all for the biddies. With that, y'all see that lion? That is us. And I'm gonna say it again. That's really what they're scared of. They realize that they have poked the lion and the lion is waking up. The weatherman says the sun will be shining all across the U.S. on election day. I believe it, because the sun has finally arisen, because the lions are getting up. And we are the pride, P-R-I-D-E, of lions that are going to change this world and turn it around. It's the founding of a new world and a new America. That's what they're scared of. And we're going to do it right. Come on with those lions. We're going to do it right. We're going to do it with love. We're going to do it with diversity. We're going to do it with equity. We're going to do it with inclusion. We don't have nobody sits baby in a corner. They realize that karma has no statute of limitations. Things must be made right, Shea Butter. They know it. Come on with, you better put Simba up there. Yes. Do y'all feel? I feel it. That part. That part. And that's why I'm talking to you all and anybody else that will listen to say hope is here. Power is here. Change is here. I keep hearing people saying the closer it gets to election, I'm scared. Don't be scared. Don't be scared. It's so much energy in the atmosphere right now. But the energy is going to transform. The energy is going to take us to a whole nother level. Don't be afraid of that. You know, it's almost like Marianne Williamson when she said, The thing that we really fear is how powerful we are. Because people and things from the beginning of time that have wanted to oppress us so that they could be in control. They want to teach you to be afraid of your power. They want to teach you to be afraid of your independence. They want to teach you to be afraid of all of that lies within you, and to oppress it and to shut it down. Your voice is power. Come on here. Yes, Royal Confessions. And as we embark upon this countdown, people are becoming fearful because there is a power. I won't be silent. I refuse. I will not be silent. Not afraid to speak. Because I, through my words, have power over every unclean thing, over every wicked thing, over every nasty thing. Yes, I will vote. And I'm going to vote for my babies every time. All of my babies. But especially my black babies. Grab the power. Go vote. Especially my black babies. Thank you for the biddies, Chris. Thank you for the biddies. Because at the end of the day, beloved, we have been left out and voted against. But I want you to hear something from me. Thank you so much. Too many times we vote against ourselves. Because we've been taught that systemically. It's been embedded and ingrained in us. But the lion is awake. The lion is awake. Y'all hear me? My eyes are wide open. I hope your eyes are wide open. Take in and see all that you can see. And then get your tail up and move. Do something. Work that thing out. Am I talking to anybody? Because this is our day to seize. It's our time to rise above. Not just symbolically, not just with verbiage and an idea, a good idea. It's time for manifestation. And listen, we were talking the other day. I don't know if you realize it. We got the countdown going on. Don't be scared. If that spirit has tried to come on you, shake it off. Because I want you to understand it for what it is. It's fear of walking in your power. Because this is about to count you down so you can walk in your power. Don't be afraid of your power. Don't be afraid of your power. You are awesomely endowed with power from on high. Get in some good trouble. Come on here, Monica. That's my baby. Nobody puts baby in the corner. Get in some good trouble. Because at the end of the day, we're getting ready to turn the tide. Yeah, we're going to do it. I'm not looking. Good trouble. Nathan, good trouble. I'm not looking and expecting good trouble. Come on, y'all. Come on. Come on. Everybody put it in the chat. Good trouble. I'm not worried. We can do it. Come on. We don't have to look to all of these external things to try to get us to where we need and want to be. All we have to do is unite and get in good trouble. Everybody, commit. Good trouble. Oh man, you talk about turning this thing around. Destiny of your own ship. Captain of your own soul. Moving where you want to go. Good trouble. Are y'all hearing me? So we ain't scared. Do not let the times bring you into fear. We're committed and we have courage. Yes, courage to take a stand. Am I talking to anybody? So as we wrap this thing up, I feel something in my shando. I didn't know I was going to stay on that one topic this morning, but that's okay. At the end of the day, it brought us to the point of saying we're ready to get into some good trouble. To my brothers and sisters out there in Philadelphia, I pray, I hope and I pray, I really, really do, that God keep you safe from harm. I'm going to ask for prayers for Chad Boseman's older brother, who has announced he's in remission from his cancer. And that's a good thing. That's a good thing. But that the Lord get in good trouble. Come on, Brother Lewis. You better tell it. Tell it. We're going to pray that the Lord keep his hands of protection around Brother Boseman. So much has gone on this year for that family. And my heart, my prayers go out to them. But I'm very thrilled to hear that he's in remission. Thank God. There's a pastor in Maine that is apologizing to his congregation, who insisted. Pastor Matthew Shaw made a post on Facebook that he held at Brooks Pentecostal Church in Waldo County. And my white brother said they had 60 cases of COVID that broke out from a revival where he refused to shut down his church. And now he's basically saying, and unfortunately, he had many that were did not survive. But after 60 of them fell ill, he said he had to come back to apologize to his church. Now, y'all talk to me over there in chat and tell me how you feel about that. Brother said he has to apologize to his church for insisting on having and holding the services against the science of the health department, against what people were telling him to do. And from his Pentecostal background and upbringing, he felt compelled that he needed to go ahead in faith and have his service anyhow, to which 60 people fell ill and some did not survive. So he's coming back to apologize because he feels that he owes that apology to the people. Now, y'all know me, and everybody not necessarily real thrilled and happy with me in my position, but I don't care. You have lives. When you start talking about leadership, I know, Chris, wish you would have listened. Now more folks are suffering and some are dead. And listen, you don't get up and come back from the dead. And yes, it's a hard lesson to learn. I hear the apology. And the thing that I hope about the apology, and I'm being sincere, I'm not trying to be ugly about it, because I know many pastors personally that are still in the midst of COVID-19 going right on. They haven't stopped one service and they're preaching, this is the will of God in Christ Jesus concerning you. Y'all know what happened back in March. The affiliation that I came from, they had folks dying and laying down so fast that they finally had to come back and shut everything down, which was the issue from the very beginning, because even at the time that they told the people to stop gathering in groups, they had a meeting and decided they were going to do it anyhow. And even right up to the point of last week, the week before last, another one of them passed away from COVID-19. And I don't know what it takes. This is our slow down point. When you hear the organ, and I'm gonna slow down today because I tell you, I'm worked up. I really, really am. But I want to slow down and talk about this because statistics, COVID took 500,000 infected, 500,000. If he were a nurse, doctor, or other type of licensed individual, the personal accountability clause would have gone into effect and opened him up to being charged. I feel 100% in agreement with that, Shea Butter, because at the end of the day, we're responsible for people's lives as leaders. If you're going to call yourself a leader, then lead. But don't just lead to your own personal benefit. And I am sorry, but that's the problem that I feel so many churches are going through right now, is that I want to show, I pastor a church where we have so much faith that this pandemic that's out here and this COVID-19 virus, we're untouchable. No plague shall come nigh my dwelling. I can't tell you how many times I've heard that. And I can't tell you how many times I've seen the after effects of funerals. But we're trying to prove something. We got to let the world know how awesome we are in faith. And I'm like, why can't you show your faith and how awesome you are, that you will not leave or desert one of your sheep, the least of them, the feeblest of them, the sickest of them, the most vulnerable of them. Don't leave your sheep. Stay home. Stay home, because somebody's at risk. Somebody's going to die. And I listened, I read, and something down in my shondo said, sir, you're still responsible. Well, that's how I feel about it. That's how I feel about it. And I'd rather err on the side of caution myself than to take the risk of the lives of the sheep. It's a no-brainer to me, because I care about the people. Nathan Lamont, he followed Trump's advice, but it is good he came to realize the truth. And speaking of opening up, it was okay for the whites to protest with their guns in government buildings, and the cops never threatened them. And you're telling the truth all day long, Nathan, all day long. But the minute you get that same representation in protests of black bodies and people in color, they want to whoop somebody's head. It's a riot. Come on with that coffee, Monica. Come on with that. Listen, I tells it like it T-I-Z-T-is. I ain't got it made up yet, but I'm going to tell them, listen, I don't do cream. I don't do sugar. I do coffee black, because I tell it like it T-I-Z-T-is. Strong and black. And if you can't handle black coffee, you're probably in the wrong place. Once we use our voice, that's it, Nathan. Once we use our voice, it's a riot. Come on with that coffee. Come on. You drink black. You heard what I said? Not with cream and not with sugar. I tells it like it T-I-Z-T-is. How do you want your coffee? Black and strong. Woo! So here we go. Y'all see I changed my shades because we're moving into the empowerment phase, and I want to talk about the word of the day. We're coming on up into rounding the corner in our broadcast, because we got something to say. You better ask somebody. We got something to say. And so our word of the day, respect. Come on with that coffee, Monica. Come on. How do you like your coffee? Black and strong. Tell it like it T-I-Z-Tis. That's what we do over here on Yes You OQ. Now listen, respect. We're talking about, as we come into the season and the time of how and what we need to do as the country comes together. And you know, we've been talking, we've been sharing. We talked about how we're going to do it. We're using the framework of Scrum without getting heavily into it. And we've broken it down over the couple of days. But again, transparency. If we're going to bring the people together and we're going to create a new world. Listen, you talk about a framework for complex, how to get and produce what you want of a complex situation. Let's start with the first pillar, transparency. Gotta do that. Then we move on to the level of inspection. And really, whether you realize it today or not, when we're talking about diversity, equity, and inclusion, some of what we did today was actually inspection. What am I inspecting? I'm inspecting the mindset, the attitude that a black person has done something wrong and not complied with the law. That's why they're getting the action and reaction that they're getting. No, let's inspect that further. That is not the case, because many of black people have done nothing to get what they got. And then many of black people that have possibly done something, when you talk about excessive force and excessive police violence against black bodies, upon inspection, you have to back up and say 14 bullets to a man wielding a knife that had mental issues. 14 bullets. Does that seem like equity to you? Does that seem just? Does that seem fair? Inspection. And then adaptation. We've got to adapt and make whatever adjustments need to happen so that we can get into a level where we can say what's really going on. And so at the end of the day, I want us to take a look. We talked about this, the 5 things that you need from your team as you're moving into this realm. 5 things that I'm asking us. Yes, you, OQ, one-on-one, just me and you. 5 things I'm trying to get us to understand and pull in as we launch out to do this change that God is going to use us. The universe has empowered us and anointed us to make the difference. The first thing was commitment. The second thing was courage. The third thing was focus. The fourth thing was openness. And the last thing was respect. We had some openness going on here today. The ability to hear, I'm pro law enforcement. The ability to hear, I don't know how I would have reacted in that situation. I just can't pass judgment. The ability to hear that. But the ability to have the openness to say everything that I feel and get my, how do you like my coffee? Get my information in like a TIZ. Because at the end of the day, we know that there are more dynamics and forces at work than just complying. We know that there are more forces at work when we talk about excessive force. And the man really had not committed a crime. He was out of control. Now, the carrying of a weapon, because it didn't sound, and I don't know all the particulars, but because the family was out there trying to tell the police, everybody was trying to deal with him in his meltdown. Nobody, it didn't sound like he was, I'm going to kill y'all, I'm going to do this and da da da. He was just out, he was emotionally and mentally out of control. 14 bullets. 14 bullets. So we had that openness in our conversation. We got to unpack some of this, y'all. We can't just let people throw baggage out and pile it up and we don't unpack some of this baggage. What was the unpacking? Let's take this thing all the way back to slavery and beyond. When black bodies that were totally innocent have been accused of crimes that we did not commit. Come on, Emmett Till. We did not commit. Totally innocent of. Lied on. But yet and still, we've had to try to defend ourselves as if we're criminals. And there is no innocent until proven guilty. As a matter of fact, we don't even get to court. Judge, jury, executioner takes us out on the street, in our house, in the bed, under the wheel of my car, with your knee in my neck. Let's unpack this. This is historically the behavior. This is systemically what's been planted. This is how we've been treated the whole time. And it has absolutely, positively nothing to do with justice. It has everything to do with racism. It has everything to do with classism. It has everything to do with the elements of the oppressed attempting to rise up and say to the oppressor, get your knee out of my neck. Jared Kushner, it has nothing to do with complaining. And for anybody else that is deluded, it's not socialism. It's not any of these other political terms that are being thrown around right now. And yes, that's why you wanted conservatism when you packed. You keep talking about, is Biden going to pack the court? You packed the court. And I'm not trying to be partisan. I'm trying to address what's going on in reality, so that oppression and oppressors can continue to oppress the oppressed. And we are rising up to say, we shall not have it. So when these accusations and these falsities and this whitewashed history is told, we have to unpack it. We got to break it down. Don't give me no sugar. Don't give me no cream. How do you want your coffee? I need it black and strong. Give it to me straight. And so we got to unpack that crap. It's racism, Nathan. It's racism all day long. It's racism. And so at the end of the day, let's start with respect. Now, I'm showing and we are expressing a tremendous amount of respect, even in acknowledging and continuing to insist we recognize these are brothers and sisters. I'm not talking about somebody that has been reduced to less than a dog or a cat like we have been. I'm not talking about revenge. I recognize my brothers and sisters as racist brothers and sisters. That is a level of respect right there. Because while you disrespect my body, I will respect you as God's creation. I will respect you as my child because I am Mother Africa. I will respect the humanity of all my children, all my brothers, and all of my sisters. Respect. But I'm saying to you, you better give us some respect back. I feel RESPECT. Come on, Nathan, sing it for me. Squall for me, baby. Squall. As only you can. I must be respected. Even the young man with the mental illness, I don't care what you say. Yes, he may be manic. Yes, he may have been having a meltdown. They told you that. They told you that. It was no surprise. They told you he was struggling mentally. He was worthy of respect. Mentally ill, yes. Due respect, yes. why there suddenly is this sense of feeling. If you do this, I do that. And especially when we're talking about someone whose mental faculties are challenged and having a meltdown, chemical imbalance, whatever the trigger is, flashback, PTSD, I don't know what all was involved. But at the end of the day, can we respect that mental illness is not a reason to kill somebody? Can we respect that? Can we honor that? Because you'd want that same respect for yours, especially if you knew they were mentally ill. Am I talking to anybody? But at the same time, so while I'm on this respect, I know, and I said I respect the humanity. Those are my brothers. Those are my sisters. Those are my babies from Mother Africa. But then there's certain areas where, baby, respect is earned. Respect is earned. I'm going to need you. Number one, can we have some honesty? Honesty would be appreciated. Can you quit lying? Can you quit lying? Can you quit lying?
Why you always lying?
Thank you so much, Ann. I love you, baby. Can you give me some honesty so I can respect you? Because respect is earned. Trust is gained. I'm not just going to hand it over to you. And this is the thing I want us to understand. And we talked about discernment a couple of days ago. Pay attention to what people say. They will tell you where they are. Do you hear me? When people show you who they are. Thank you so much for gifting Shea Butter. Thank you so much. When people show you who they are, believe them. Discernment. Watch, listen. I said this, where church has tried so hard to teach you not to pay attention and shut your sensory perceptions down. Use your senses and let that discernment come forth. Don't just out here willy-nilly trust everybody. Trust is gained. And if you can show me some honesty and you gain my trust, I will be loyal to you and respect you. Respect. You got to earn our respect. Am I talking to anybody? Because at the end of the day, it's a new day. So listen, brother preacher, brother apostle, brother prophet, brother teacher, brother pastor, and sister of all of the same. Don't think that just because you have a title, we're going to respect you in this movement. We're going to respect your humanity. We're going to respect you as our brothers and sisters. We're going to respect you as children born of Mother Africa. But this movement is not going to be an automatic based on titles. Brother President, Mrs. President, you got to respect. You got to earn our respect. Retha said, RESPECT. Got to do it. Y'all know Retha's my girl. Got to do it. We've got to have respect that comes into this arena. But listen, beloved, we can't keep playing the game. We can't keep being brainwashed. We got to earn it. If I say I'm a spiritual thought leader, I want to earn respect. It's not expected because I threw a title out there. Listen, just asking for a little bit. as we interact one with another. I appreciate my brother Joel. I appreciate his experience and ancestry as a Jew. I respect that. I respect that to the highest. He has, in conversation, earned levels of my respect. We've been able to have communication even when we don't see eye to eye, that allows me to give him my respect, because he doesn't belittle, knock down, disqualify what I'm saying to him. He is earning my respect, because in this new space, we've got to have true respect one for another. Because babies, people will interact with you all day long. I can tell you, I can go back. Some of my worst disrespect came from folk that acted like and told people they loved me and acted like they liked me, and they disrespected me to the hilt. I ain't stupid. Just because, this is my pastor, this is my apostle, this is my da 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 da. But there's no respect. And I'm not talking about based on just the title. But my thing is, if I have not given you reason to disrespect me, and you go out here and disrespect me, we parting ways from the standpoint of me embracing you into my bosom. Oh, you can come around all day long, but I got my eyes on you. What did I tell you? When someone shows you who they are, believe them. And if everything that comes out of you toward me is disrespect, them titles don't mean a thing. And we got to stop playing this game. Come on, these are facts. Shea Butter, these are facts. These are real. These are big facts. And so I look at it, and this is the thing: we disrespect each other, and then want to keep on acting like nothing ever happened. Oh no. You're gonna respect me. You're going to respect me, because I'm gonna respect myself. And me respecting myself requires that you're gonna respect me if you're gonna be up in my space. Now, if you want to dismiss yourself and go hither, thither, and yon, Tulu, goodbye. But you're not going to be up in my space with a fake, false respect and think you're going to, no, ma'am, no, sir. And I still love you. But we've got to get past all of this superficial falsehood. Acting like, oh yeah, that's it. No, it don't work like that, Chris. It does not work like that. But that's what we've seen a lot of, and that's why in this hour, going back to that transparency, man, if we got to talk through some things, if we got to and we do, not if, we got to talk through some things. We've got to inspect some things. We got to unpack some baggage and talk about it for real, for show. And then we got to adapt to it. At the core, if we cannot respect one another, and again, not from a place of demanding respect, but knowing you deserve my respect as a human being all day long. That won't ever change. I don't care who you are. I don't care what you've done. As a human being from Mother Africa's loins, whatever color you are, whatever tongue and language you speak. Listen, but one of my best friends is black. Come on. That's a clown statement right there. respect that is real. REAL. Real respect. No more lip service. That's going to cause a lot of things in the atmosphere. Energy. I've been telling y'all the whole time. Protect your energy. Energy is real. Right now, the atmosphere is so charged with energy. Protect your energy. Listen, that's a serial killer. Some of my... Woo! I want you to come to a point where you understand and sense and discern. Isn't that's the cracks? That's the cracks. I want you to understand and discern. We've got to move into the realm of real respect. Don't let folks play no games with you. And don't play games with nobody. We almost have been taught how to play the game of lying.
Why you always lying?
About respect. And at the end of the day, I've learned that game. I've learned the people that play that game. And I am a person that says, if you're not going to give it to me real, don't come at me with that fake stuff. And I want you to hear this while I'm talking about inclusion, diversity, equity, inclusion. But hear me right here. Sometimes you're going to have to leave, not because of your ego, but for self-respect. Sometimes, because I told you, when people show you who they are, believe them. And in this phase, Chris, you said bye-bye. If you're going to play games with me and you're not going to come correct, if you're not going to be transparent, if you're not going to inspect, if you're not going to really unpack the bag and look at what's in there, if we're going to try to keep playing this game of false respect, not for ego, but for self-respect, I don't have time for that. You can't drain my energy with that foolishness. We're grown-up people up in this piece. We're not playing kid games. This isn't grade school. This isn't elementary school. I need you to begin to come to a place. I told you all yesterday, Mama Africa and the spirit thereof. Put that backbone in your back. Straighten up. Lift your head. And like I said, when we start getting in the spirit in this realm, it ain't no gender. It's not a male and a female. I'm talking to Mama Africa. I'm talking to everybody that walks and understands this spirit. I'm talking to, listen, fake news. I need folks that are not going to bow to fake news. Come on with that word, Nathan. Identify. And baby, if it's not going to come correct, not for ego's sake, but for your self-respect, sashay yourself right on out the room. And even when I say that, I can be sitting in your presence and not budge, but I have sashayed myself right on out your room, because I have Elvis has left the building. Am I talking to anybody? Oh yeah, I can sit in the midst. I can keep a straight face and I can keep right on flowing. But believe you me when I tell you I have left the building, because you will not insult. Class dismissed. Class dismissed. Because I will not, for self-respect, stay in foolishness. Anytime you want to come right. I was even talking to Rebel. We were talking about this the other day. Had some situations going on. Anytime you want to come right, it's okay. But baby, when you playing. And what did you say? These are my babies. I nursed them with these. But sometimes you got to get them legs. You got to get them legs. And sometimes getting them legs is self-respect walking out. If you gonna play games and you just ain't gonna come right. Listen, ain't nobody got time for that. Because what we're trying to build, let's get back to the point of it. We're building relationship. That's how this movement is going to be so powerful and so different from the moves before it. Because we're not just putting in processes. We're not just talking about stuff. My whole other eye open now, baby. This is I love you, Monica. I love you. I am not just talking about going through some kind of thrown together something for a little bit of change. We need a complete overhaul, and then a complete takeover is coming. We must be relational. It's going to come because we have relationship with each other. So you hear me talking about my white babies, my yellow babies, my brown, red, and black babies. They all my babies, says Mother Africa. But they got to get together. Come together right now. Come together right now. We gotta have a relationship such that I cannot disassociate myself from you, and you cannot disassociate yourself from me. I don't care what the differences are. And yes, I'm gonna say it because listen, y'all that's tripping over my LGBTQIAP plus babies, those are my babies too. Nobody puts my babies in the corner. Nobody is free until we are all free. Am I talking to anybody? Nobody is free until we are all free. Somebody said, and I loved it, for all of our racist Christian brothers that want to say all lives matter, nobody's free till we're all free. For all of our racist brothers and sisters that out here running around talking about God's got you on this mission and all of the evil and the racism and the wickedness that you're doing is from God. You want to say Jesus matters. Somebody said you need to say all gods matter. They can't understand nothing else. Say all gods matter and they'll start understanding Black Lives Matter. When the world starts coming out talking about all gods matter, these racist folk gonna come out talking about, oh no, they'll get the understanding of that. At the end of the day, to my Buddhist brothers and sisters, those are my babies, and those are my brothers and my sisters. My Muslim, my Jain, I could go down the line and down the list. They're all my children, says Mother Africa. And so even in the realm, and y'all really ain't gonna want to hear me, even in the realm, had Barack Obama been a Muslim, which he was not, but why should that even be an issue? Hopefully one day, y'all ain't ready for me. Hopefully one day, America will be true to her ideals. And one day, the president of the United States will be a Muslim. Because religion has nothing to do with running this country. And we have blinders. I'm talking about respect. I've heard some of the ugliest stuff come from so-called Christians. Ugly. The most disrespectful. The most hateful. And what is it all day long missing? Respect. Yeah, we'll be spiritual and not religious. Come on here. Come on here. Because at the end of the day, we've got to come to a different reality. Oh, yeah. I told you I ain't ready for me. Because I'm not just talking about segments and fractions and factions. I'm talking about inclusion. My friend Baswati, I love her. And I'm going to tell you what, she is one of the, you talk about respect, honor, love. I respect her more so than many of my Christian brothers and sisters that are just as mean, nasty, and hypocritical as all get out. Talk about everybody like a dog and treat people like they ain't nothing. Baswati is the epitome of a spiritual loving being. I embrace her and she embraces me because we respect one another. So you're not going to hear me get up and preach a sermon of disrespect. Well, child, you ain't saved. Yes, I am. And that's not under question, and I'm not worried about it. So I don't care what you say anyway. Thank you, Sam. Thank you for following. I don't care what you say anyway. At the end of the day, I recognize and I understand that my love for her and her love. Thank you for joining. Thank you for following Adam G 672. That is real. Not that, oh, sister, I love you. Oh, sister, no. Thank you for the follow. I am at a place. What did I say? I look at the real. When people show me who they are, I believe them. And when they show me who they are, I don't care. There are no labels. There's no color. There's no creed. There's no culture. When they show me who they are and they're showing me brotherhood and sisterhood, the first time we are, babe. The first time. When they show it the first time. When I see it ever so clearly. Thank you. You have a great day too, Sam. When I see it ever so clearly, I embrace it. I embrace it. And this is the thing I've learned over time, beloved. Sometimes you see it where you least expect it. And you see it least where you really expected it. Did I say something? Sometimes you see it where you least expected it. And sometimes you don't see it where you expected it the most. So at the end of the day, I'm not worrying about all of this. Who shot John? Respect. 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 And so we're going to continue to have transparency. I love these conversations. I love even when we don't agree, because baby, this is the thing that I want us to understand. I keep saying it over again. Become comfortable with being uncomfortable and be committed to the point that unless you're showing me total and absolute disrespect and that you have not misunderstanding and not confusion or ignorance, there are some differences there. But if you just don't understand, I'm going to Come on, dreams die in comfort zones. You said a word there. You better preach that word, Shea Butter. It is imperative that you make a commitment that even when it becomes uncomfortable, I'm not going to get up and just walk off. But only because we maintain a decorum and an environment of respect. I will respect you and you will respect me. And we will sit here together and continue to talk until we can unpack baggage, inspect it in a transparent way, and then figure out how we need to adapt and adjust. But the intent is not that I'm going to be the same way and you're going to be the same way and we're both going to dig in our heels and we're both going to disrespect each other and just keep going at one another. No, ma'am, no, sir. You will not drain me like kryptonite of my energy. When you have no intent, no intention of adapting. And when I say adapt, we both and every party involved has to be open to adaptation. I'm not telling you to adapt while I have all of my milk and cookies. I need to be willing to adapt also. I need to be willing to compromise also. I have to be willing to make whatever adjustments need to happen so that everybody is included and nobody is excluded. So I got to be comfortable with being uncomfortable until I get to that point. Am I talking to anybody? Listen, how do you want your coffee? Tell me. No cream, no sugar. It's always black because, baby, I tells it like it. T-I-Z-Tis. That's how we drink our coffee over here. We got to be willing to do that, beloved. We got to. Because at the end of the day, black. Hey, Styles, welcome. Glad to have you this morning. We drink our coffee black over here because I tell it like it T-I-Z-Tis. Good morning. So respect is my word for today because we got to have it. We got to have it one for the other. And there you have it. Because change is going to come. Oh, yes, it is. Change is going to come. All righty then. All right. I just love y'all. I really do. Y'all know I love you. Well, it's another day's journey, and I'm glad about it. I want to say thank you to everybody that joined me in my chat on today. We are, babe. I'm always glad when you come. Styles, you made it before we got up out of here. Monica, Nathan Lamont, that's my baby. Royal Confessions, Jams JJ, BTD Mom, The Rebel Inc. Oh my God, Teresa. And Teresa, I got your thing. You couldn't see the chat, so we're going to get that fixed. SK8843. I appreciate Chris G. Oh my goodness, I don't want to miss anybody. Royal Confessions. Everybody that was in the chat this morning, I appreciate you. Jams JJ, if I didn't get you in, let me get you in again. I appreciate you and I feel for my brother. Yes, I do. This has been Regina L. Stillman. I am your spiritual thought leader, and I've enjoyed having a conversation with you. Yes, you. Oh, cute. One-on-one, just me and you. You can follow me on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Patreon, Twitter, Twitch, Anchor, and many more, baby. I'm out there. We getting it on. I love to say it like my dear friend Rhonda Royal. If you don't deal with it, it will deal with you. And so this is a day and a time, beloved, where we are doing everything that we can. We're doing everything that we can. We are dealing with it in this day and time. We ain't playing. We mean to do this thing. We're doing it for real, for real. And so as we come into this time, listen, I always try to tell you, this is how we do it. This is how we do it. I want you, hey, Snoop said peace for your journey. Y'all see Snoop giving y'all peace for your journey. Help me, Snoop. Yes, come on. Get that coffee going. You need to do another pop show. How do we drink our coffee over here? We drink it strong and black. Black and strong. No cream, no sugar, cause we tell it like it T-I-Z-Tis. We want you to be the change. I am sick and tired of folks that always want to talk about we want change, but they're not willing to be the change. That's not us, cause we're ready to do this. We're ready to do this. Chris, we got the power. We got the power. I'm telling you, this is the time of us, you, me, we, all. And since we got everybody together, this is how we do it. I always want you to have peace for your journey.